Today, more details are unraveling around the indictment and plea deals of some Atlanta police officers. And we're learning more about what happened the night Kathryn Johnston was shot to death.
We begin our team coverage today with 11 Alive's Kevin Rosen. He is in the newsroom with new information from one of the officers. Kevin.
Jill, the attorneys who represent Officer Greg Jr., who faces over 10 years in prison as part of a plea deal, held a news conference this morning, one day after light was shed on not only the Neal Street incident, but what is being called a systemic problem in the Atlanta Police Department. Jr. and another officer, Jason Smith, pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter in the November 21st shooting death of Kathryn Johnston. According to court documents, it was a tragedy waiting to happen. Officer Smith lied to a magistrate court judge in order to get a no-knock search warrant at Johnston's Neal Street home. They didn't even know she lived there. But corners were cut when a drug suspect pointed to her home as a place he had purchased drugs before. Smith admitted planting 3 bags of marijuana in Johnston's basement after the shooting and concocted with Jr. a story that would back up the lies on the warrant. Jr.'s attorney said today he and Officer Smith are the running nose to a cold, the symptom of a much larger problem.
I shy away from bashing any particular person. I'm not here to bash Chief Pennington or the mayor or anyone of that sort. But we cannot ignore the fact that there's something systemic going on that needs to be addressed.
Now, as part of their plea deal, Jr. and Smith will testify against a third officer, Arthur Tesler, who was indicted on much lesser charges. More importantly, they'll cooperate with an ongoing federal investigation into alleged systemic problems in the Atlanta Police Department. Jill?
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Community leaders also continue to step forward to address the events around the Johnston case. 11 Alive's Dennis O'Hare continues our team coverage live from Northwest Atlanta with more on that. Dennis?
Well, Clarence, some of Kathryn Johnston's neighbors and government representatives gathered on the front lawn of her home just a few moments ago to say they are not happy with the sentences of just over 12 years for Officer Jason Smith and just over 10 years for Officer Greg Jr. And they say they want an immediate crackdown on what they say is systemic police brutality. Now, the community leaders and neighbors say many in this area have been subjected to the same kind of illegal police procedure that was involved in the Kathryn Johnston case. And they say what they call the attack on Ms. Johnston was an attack on the community, that police often barge into homes without warrants or with fake warrants. They also charge the police often plant evidence, and they believe it goes well beyond the 2 officers who pled guilty in the Kathryn Johnston case. But they kept coming back to what happened, what we have learned of what happened to Ms. Johnston that night in November. They say they're particularly horrified by what the officers did after they shot her.
As Miss Kathryn Johnston lay dying on this floor in this house, she was handcuffed and literally laying on the floor, bleeding to death. And we talk about making nice with these police officers. We're talking about how we need justice tempered with mercy. No. What mercy did she get? No.
And they listed some demands, among them a public apology from the officers, not just to the family, but to this community. And secondly, they called on District Attorney Paul Howard of Fulton County to review pending cases and past cases, and to review immediately those cases involving these officers. Live in Northwest Atlanta, Dennis O'Hare, 11 Alive News.
All right, thank you.